Healthy golf is based on how the body is built to perform best. Whether you need to play a big drive down the fairway, a precise iron shot to the green, a chip, pitch, sand shot, or even a putt. Healthy golf offers new fundamentals that make your job much easier. Based on the medical model for swing improvement, Healthy Golf is endorsed by doctors, chiropractors, sports scientists, health education specialists, teaching professionals, and
players from all walks of golfing life. Healthy Golf corrects for unintended anatomical errors in traditional theory and method. By reflecting body mechanics more accurately, Healthy Golf reduces risks and proves to be of help to the many players suffering from back pain, elbow and shoulder problems, hand, wrist ailments, and other conditions known to be preventable. With this, players now look forward to an extended life of golf improvement and enjoyment, pain and injury-free.
Let's join Dr. Esposito as he introduces the new fundamentals of healthy golf. DrDom is the originator of the medical model, and it is with great pleasure that we at the Hamlet Windwatch Golf Club are able to help sponsor this video to advance learning and the continuing enjoyment of golf. Ladies and gentlemen, DrDom Esposito.
The short game proficiency. How do we get the ball close enough to this hole so that we can get down in two? Up to the hole, make a putt, and get down in two, saving ourselves a stroke. When you think of the wide variety of shots that are required in the short game, stuff around the green, the hills, the slopes, the lengths of different grasses, bunkers and other obstacles, it's apparent that it's virtually impossible to practice every single conceivable situation you are likely to encounter in the short game. Therefore, what we have found people focusing on is touch, the concept of touch, the touch around the green. Well, in the Healthy Golf video that we're presenting now, we certainly have a lot to say about touch, but we are very much concerned with technique. What is the technique that we can use, the theory and technique that will put us in the best position to make a swing, get the ball up on the green, and close to this hole? This video, of course, builds on the same foundations that we discussed in our first video on power and direction. You will find that there are a couple of modifications, principally pertaining to balance. Where is the balance function of the body located, and where should the club be positioned in our 4-in-1 Healthy Golf glove? There's a special position in the glove for the short game, and we'll discuss that a little bit later on. But to put the entire video in a perspective, touch versus technique, which do you think is going to permit you to play the best shots you can play in performing the short game mechanics? Let's take a look at the modifications required in order to improve our short game proficiency. The first modification that we would like to take a look at has to do with the pivotal structure of the body. As you recall from our first video, we have 2 power pivots and 2 power axes. In the short game, the first decision we have to make is which axis would we like to use? The forward axis or the back axis? Since we are no longer using the spine as the center of rotation, we now have the added capacity for the left or right side, and that will make your short game performance much, much more proficient. So in lining up for a shot, whatever I see is a straight line, I will set up the perpendicular off that straight line. Let's say this is the straight line. Now we're going to set up the perpendicular off the straight line. There we go. There's my line. Here's my perpendicular, and I step into it. If I want to use the forward axis, I will put the balance of the body right up. The ball's right here on the heel, right on pivot. First foundation comes in place, it's right on the ball. So, I've made a decision. I'm going to play this as a forward axis swing, a one pivot swing on the forward side. Balance is here, and it's going to stay here throughout the swing. Basic position, first foundation, balance here. Second foundation is established from my foot to my hip. Feel the inside of the foot. Third foundation is the grip. The grip. Remember when we put those 3 circles in the glove? The short game? Well, there's the modification. Right there. There's the line. Setting the perpendicular. First foundation. Second foundation. Modification in the grip. Set the fourth foundation. Take it away. And hit. As you can see, the basic foundations are the same as those we use in the full swing. The only modifications are 2. Instead of being positioned with the balance on both power pivots and axes, I elected to use the one on the front. I could also elect to use the one on the back. Here's the line. When you're playing off the back axis, it's a very good idea to turn this foot in, because if it's open, and we're just going to use one axis, it'll put too much strain on your knee. So close the foot in a bit. About 30 degrees is fine. And hit. Of course, in the short game, we can use both axes if we wish. So we can use the forward axis, the back axis, and for longer short shots, we can set it up just as we would a full swing and make the modification in our glove right there and play the shot. This technique, known as the one-axis swing, either from the left or from the right, again, if you want for longer shots, you can be in both, balanced right in the center, permits us to have an increased level of stability over the shot. The worst thing that we can do in the short game is lose control of our power balance, our hip balance. If this is the position of the ball, and I'm balanced here on the left, and on the short game, I swing my hips out to the right, the balance of the body is here right now, and it's virtually impossible for me to make contact with this ball, good, consistent contact with the ball, if my balance is back here. Because the balance determines the base of where the club is going to come down. So if I was like this and I started to swing, I would hit it fat. But if I put the hip balance up here on the left and maintain it here, maintain control here, pivotal control here, the shot comes off as it's intended. And that's exactly the point. In order to play the short game with increased proficiency, we have to have pivotal control of the main frame of the body. If we lose control of the frame, we will lose control of the swing. When it comes to having control of the body, pivotal control on the backside, I wish to emphasize the point with regard to the foot. This foot should be closed, not square, not open. So even though I have my left foot on the ground, I'm playing it back here on the back pivot, right here. First foundation, second foundation is here. The foot toe is closed. Set the hands correctly, check it if you wish. Set the fourth foundation, take it away, and hit. Excellent results. These same excellent results apply when we're actually playing the game. So here we have a relatively short chip shot, and let's apply our new understanding of the short game. There's my target line. I set the perpendicular, basic body position. First foundation, second foundation with the balance right here, supported by the foot, the leg, and the hip structure. Third foundation, we'll put the club in the short game area of our 4-in-1 glove. Third foundation is the grip. Fourth, establish the right side, take it back, and chip. Just fine. Once again, basic position. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fine. That's about 4 inches from the hole. That'll work on any golf course. There's something about the grip position that's very important, and I'd like to help you to understand it. When we place the club lower into the short game area, what it does is gives our hands and wrists much more flexibility. Oh, by the way, this is not the way the wrist hinges in the golf swing. It actually hinges back. So with the lower position in the hand, I can use my wrist much more easily. That's very important, because when we are in the short game, very often, we don't need a big swing, a quarter swing, a half swing, and we need to get the club head, the club shaft and head back into the hitting position. We can't just take it away. If I was in a full swing position, it would be very hard for me to control this club from this position in the hand, from the full swing position in the hand. But when it's in the short game position in the hand, it's much easier to control. My body can stay more stable, the head can come back, boom, and we start the downswing. I'll play a shot right now, and I would like you to focus on the fact that I'm actually using my hand and wrist to bring the club head back. Back, forward. So you don't see a big move like this. It's a simple little shot. Boom. This same principle, as applies to the grip, can be applied when we need longer shots, longer pitch shots. For example, I'll hit in this direction, and you'll see the swing lengthen out a bit, but you will not see a lot of movement in the body. On and through. And you will notice that on the swings that I'm making right now, I actually swing through the shot. I'm not trying to hit the shot with my hands or wrists. And the body, the main frame of the body, swings. We're new to the game, which is trying to snap the wrists at the ball in order to hit it. The wrists actually hit straight through. They do not flip under, not necessary to flip them over. They just go, the body takes it straight through. Obviously, when it comes to the short game, we have these wide variety of situations to deal with. And there are other variables that can help us to produce the shots that we would like to see. For example, the ball can be placed forward or back. When the ball is forward in the stance, as you very well know, as most golfers know, the ball will come up a little bit higher. And when it's back in the stance, I'll play this as a back pivot swing, it'll usually come out a little bit lower. That's one variable. Should the ball be forward or should the ball be back? You decide depending upon the shot you see and the shot you would like to see. Also, the club face. It could be square, closed, or open at address. Here we have the club face square. Here's closed, here's open. So I'll close the club face, And what that will do is de-loft the club, de-loft it. Remember, the face is not going to hit it left. This right shoulder rudder should take me where I want to go. Face is closed. Ball's going right over there. Face is open. Now I can open the face. I'll hit this one left with an open face. So we have the ball forward or back or anywhere in between. We can have the face closed, square or open. We can also adjust the length of the swing. We can bring the swing to here, higher, higher. We can bring the length of the backswing anywhere we want, depending upon the shot we would like to produce. Also, we have another variable, and that pertains to the wrists. The wrists can be set square, convex, or concave. We can achieve the convex position in the backswing, like so, which will de-loft the face and hit it lower. Or we can move to a concave position. Look how high the club head got. Concave position, concave, and that will bring the club face up and higher and open the club face. That club face right now is open, open. Of course, the most important thing to remember when it comes to the short game is that the main frame of the body participates in a major way in releasing the swing. It's not simply the arms pulling down or the wrists snapping the club. We must rely on the main frame of the body to swing through the shot completely. The shots that we miss in the short game, by and large, occur because we're just swinging the arms down and snapping the wrists at the ball and not allowing the pivotal structure of the body to help us to get through. Boom, right through. Even on a short chip shot, it's the main frame of the body that's helping us to get through. In a moment, I'll show you a tip that'll help you a great deal. Look how the body pivots over. There's a tip that could really help you a great deal when it comes to producing more consistent short game results, more proficient results. And it has to do with the left side. When the ball's up on the front side of the body, on the pivotal side, with this axis, what we can do is really preset, put a spring system, as it were. By turning the hip, a spring emerges in the left side at address. We're presetting ourselves. So here I am, preset. Now watch what happens. This will just, without the arms or anything else, it wants to unwind and take me through. Most of the fat shots we hit are because we're coming down with the upper body. The lower body is not opening up. But I can preset the left side so that it wants to open up in the downswing. Let me demonstrate that if I can. Turn the hip. It's like you're putting a little torque in your left leg. Backswing, boom. And the lower body leads as the upper body then follows through. It's a very, very, very important variable and one you'd like to work with. One more time just to help you to see it, just to help you to see it. Basic position, first foundation, second, preset it. Third is the grip, fourth foundation, take it away, boom. So you can see the body taking the club through the ball. Remember, this club, no matter what club you have, the club does not move the body moves the club. So, this main frame, big main frame, is very significant in all the shots of golf, in all the shots in golf. Set it, wind it, let it unwind and take you through. Do these ideas I'm presenting with regard to the short game apply when we walk into the sand? Well, of course they do. You see, the sand is simply a soft surface. It's an obstacle of sorts, but it's simply a soft surface. It's not grass, sand, could be a dirt road, macadam road, whatever. The surface doesn't hit the ball. It's the main frame of the body. So no matter where we take the main frame of the body, we are working with the same fundamentals, the same healthy golf fundamentals. There is a difference when we walk into the sand, however, and of course it has to do with the texture and the nature of the sand. We would like the club to hit the sand before it hits the ball. That will slow the speed of the club, soften the blow, and we'll get a much more soft shot coming out. So what we're going to do in the sand is this. This is the real ball in the sand. I'm going to set up an imaginary ball right behind it. This ball here, that's an imaginary ball. So if this was the real ball in the sand, this would be the imaginary ball, perhaps 2, 3, 4 inches behind, depending upon what you think you would like to do, where you would like the club to come down into the sand, and I will set up to the imaginary ball. Remember, this is the real ball. I'm going to set up to the imaginary ball and make the swing to the imaginary ball. The club will come down, hit the imaginary ball, continue down into the sand, and then take the real ball out. I'll demonstrate this for you right now. There's the real ball in the sand, and let's call this the location of the imaginary ball. I'm going to set up to the imaginary ball. Notice I'm shuffling my feet to get onto a base where I feel I'm on something firm. Basic position. I'm playing the ball off of this joint. Hips are over, off of this joint. So, first foundation, second foundation, feet to hips, third foundation, short game position in the hand, fourth foundation, right hand, arm and shoulder, take it away, and hit. And as you can see, the ball comes flying out. Here's the imaginary ball, right here. There's the line, here's the square, basic position to the imaginary ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, take it away, and hit. The ball comes flying out with no trouble at all. Now, if I wanted the ball to land on the green, well, I might open the club face. I might take it back into a concave position. That will give me more loft. Let's try it. Imaginary ball, I'm going to take it to the concave position. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lo and behold, the club face was open, I hit the sand, the ball came up nice and soft, and landed on the green. As is apparent, no matter what we're doing in the short game, if you simply work with the idea of touch, I think you'll have difficulties. However, if you work with technique, the technique through which the body can wind and release correctly through a swing, you're apt to have more success much more rapidly. So we've done some simple chip shots, pitch shots, a couple of sand shots. What happens when we're on these slopes, uphill and downhill? Well, here's a slope right over here. In fact, it's a slope with some rough in it. Can we play this shot using the same principles that we learned in our full swing? Well, of course we can. In fact, since we really understand that we've got two sides to work from, we can work a one-axis swing from the front or a one-axis swing from the back and maintain our stability so that the body can perform the swing, we have an option. What do we want to do? What's best to do here? Well, let's try it from the forward pivot. Here we are. I'm putting the ball right on the forward pivot. And by the way, there's one thing's for sure. If I'm on this slope, the last thing I want to do is lose control of my hips, because if I do, I'm going down this slope. So I'm going to maintain control here. This is supporting this here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wonderful. Perfect balance. The hill did not take me over. I had pivotal control on the front. What if I wanted to play the shot from the back? Well, let's see. Basic position, right on pivot. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Again, total body control within the pivotal structure underneath. So the principles of the short game permit us to be very creative in golf. The slopes can be uphill or downhill, side hill, what have you. If you need to be on the front, if that makes the shot easier, by all means, play the one pivot swing from the front. If you need to be on the back, and that makes the shot more easier, by all means. Whatever you need to do, the healthy golf swing can help you to do it better, more efficiently, and it doesn't take 10 years to learn. Pick the side you want, pick the shot you want, set up your foundations, take it away, and let the body help you to get through. It will.
DrDom, for best results, should the short game stance be open, square, or closed?
Well, when it comes to the basic stance in the short game, I would recommend that you be open, square, or closed, depending upon what the contour of the ground is giving you. So if, for example, we're down here on this little bit of slope, and I want the feet open a bit, I certainly play off the forward pivot. Fine. If I wanted the same shot with the feet closed, if I thought closed would... If I thought square was going to help, I would go open, square, closed, depending upon the situation. Essentially, the answer is, do you have to be open, or do you have to be closed, or do you have to be square when it comes to the short game, or the full shot for that matter? No. Healthy golf gives us the options that we think work best for the situation that we're playing.
Dr. Dom, does the swing length in the short game determine the amount of power I can produce in a shot?
You will recall in our first video on power and direction, we discussed the matter of swing length and power. Yes, the length of the swing is a variable regarding the centrifugal force potential that we have in making the swing. However, the most powerful variable governing swing power has to do with the body again and the application of the body in the downswing. So it's front side opens, lower front right here, left hip in my case, left hip opens, right shoulder through. And I can go slow, medium, or fast, 1 being as slow as I can go, 10 being as fast as I can go. Remember, in my particular case, 3 or 4, nothing more. But you may discover that 4 is too much speed for you, 6 or 7 or 8, way too much speed. Let me just hit a couple of shots, 2 or 3 shots, one at a slow speed, perhaps one at a medium speed, and one at a higher speed. In my swing dial, in my head, my personal swing dial, I'll let this swing come off at about 2-3, about a 2-3 swing speed. And there it is. Ball goes down, club goes down, takes the grass, boom, up we go. I'm going to hit this one at a 4-5 swing speed. One pivot swing on the front. That ball went about, from this lie, 20, 40, about 50 yards. 50 yards. And I happen to be hitting a 56-degree sand wedge from very heavy rough. And let's let this swing speed come up at, let's say a 7-8. That's a lot of speed for me. And that ball's hit about 95 to 100 yards at least. It really goes to show I didn't really increase the length of the backswing all that much on any of those swings. But there was a tremendous difference in the amount of application that I put into the downswing. So when it comes to swing speed or club head speed, length of club is one variable. But the most powerful variable pertains to how you use your body going through the shot. Slow, medium speed, or high speed.
Dr. Dom, what's the best way to shift your weight in the short game?
There's a great deal of talk about shifting the weight. Let me center on the main idea. It's not shift the weight, it's pivot the weight. This would be a shift of weight, a lateral shift. And as you can see, my body could very easily move into strange positions, and still I will not get a pivot. Here's the backswing. Watch what happens here. It's going to disappear. And that's how we get through the shot. There is a forward swing pivot that takes the weight through the shot and produces the full action of the release and follow through for every single shot in golf. So here we are in the backswing position. I could shift. I could push off the right side. I could move my knees. I don't have to do any of that. Backswing, and the left foot, leg, and hip simply turn out of the way, pivot out of the way, bringing me through. Effectively, what occurs is that the leverage system of the body, first power lever, second power lever, third power lever, assistive lever for the third, and the fourth power lever from the wrist to the end of the club, this whole leverage system from here turns into a whip. Here's the handle coming across. And that is the critical idea when it comes to your power balance. We're not shifting the power balance, we're pivoting the power balance.
Dr. Dom, should the wrists always remain firm when playing short shots in golf?
I too have heard the idea of keeping your wrists firm. Don't snap your wrists, don't hinge your wrists on the backswing when it comes to the short game. Remember, we're working with the interior fundamentals of the swing, the true fundamentals of the swing. And with those true fundamentals, we can do pretty much what we need to do. If I would like my wrist to be firm on a chip shot, for example, that's perfectly fine. Feels like a putt. Wrist will stay firm now. I'm not going to do this. Let them stay firm. Let the upper body move it. And I can chip it. Perfectly fine. But if I have to hit the shot 25 or 35 yards, that technique will not work. There's just not enough energy to make this ball move 20, 30, 40 yards. So if I need to, I certainly can allow my wrists to hinge. Like so. And hit the ball. That shot was hit about 45 yards. I couldn't really do that with firm wrists. So the answer to the question is, if you need your wrist to be firm for a short chip shot, that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. But if you want more flexibility, a little bit more flexibility, your wrist is set up. Because of this glove, you can use your wrist very easily. And what a quality shot that is. Simple, soft, up, lofted, and going a very nice, comfortable distance to get the ball close to the hole. Here, there's a shot that we might consider. Up very easily. Let's see if we can leave one a little closer. This ball goes up on this green and really takes off to the left. Let's consider this shot. If I hit it about, maybe 4 or 5 feet left and bounce it about halfway, we might get it close to the hole. Not too bad. I guess I just have to practice a little bit more. Quite obviously, our treatment of the short game is calling attention to the interior anatomy of the swing, the interior anatomy of the body through which we perform the swing. We can perform from the forward pivoting axis quite easily, from the back pivoting axis quite easily, but the swing, no matter which side of the body we're using, always involves 4 power levers and 4 foundations. This 4x4 formula, especially in the short game, permits us to have quite a wide range of creativity, which is so necessary when we're playing the game of golf. Golf is not played on a flat surface all the time. Yes, certainly the tees very often are flat, and should be, but out there on the course, it's uphill, it's downhill, it's side hill, we have bunkers, we have short shots from heavy grass, all types of situations, an infinite variety of situations. Impossible to practice all of those different situations. So what we need is a system, a theory and a system through which we can organize ourselves appropriately for the shot we intend to hit given the situation at hand. There is no more flexible system available to you than what we have here at healthygolf.net. This new understanding of the golf swing will take your game from wherever it is now to the next level. It occurs through understanding. Practice is great. Practice can improve you, but only if you're working with the true fundamentals of golf. Healthy golf. In putting, short game, sand shots, full shots, the entire game, your total game will improve. Until next time, this is Dr. Dom saying, have fun in golf and keep your swing healthy.